Gentlemen, I'm going to start today with a question that might make you uncomfortable, but it's one that could save your health, your confidence, and even your life. Is your daily habit of self-pleasure silently destroying your prostate, or could it actually be protecting it? The truth is, almost no one talks to older men about this. In my 30-plus years as a urologist, I've seen patients take medications for their heart, for their blood pressure, for their joints, yet not a single doctor has ever asked them about one of the most basic biological functions that continues long after retirement: masturbation. And because we don't talk about it, myths and misinformation fill the silence. Some men believe it's harmful at their age. Others think it makes no difference. And a few secretly fear it might be the reason their performance isn't what it used to be. Here's the reality. Your prostate is a living gland with a very specific job. It's not just sitting there doing nothing. It produces fluid, stores fluid, and needs to regularly clear that fluid. Ignoring this fact can have serious consequences. But at the same time, certain habits you've carried from your younger years may be quietly damaging your nerves, your hormones, and even your ability to respond naturally. That's why we have to talk about how you're doing it, not just whether you're doing it. Today, I'm going to separate myth from truth with the best available science. No tabloid nonsense, no locker room stories, just real data from respected medical institutions. I'll walk you through how your prostate responds to regular stimulation, the nerve pathways involved, the hormonal effects you might not realize are happening, and the hidden risks that most men never hear about until it's too late. By the end of this series, you'll know the exact frequency, the safest techniques, and the key mistakes to avoid if you want to protect not just your prostate, but your erections, your testosterone, and your overall vitality. And if you think this is just about sex, you're wrong. We're talking about bladder health, pelvic stability, mental sharpness, and even how long you live. Before we dive into the first big truth, I need you to do something. This channel, Senior Health Advice, exists for one reason: to give men over 60 the tools to take back control of their health. So hit that subscribe button right now, click the notification bell, and give this video a like so more men can join this conversation. Trust me, they need it. In the next section, I'm going to reveal the first shocking fact: how the way you've been approaching masturbation for decades might actually be training your nervous system into erectile dysfunction, and why no pill on earth can fix it if you don't address this root cause. Nerve damage and performance decline from wrong habits. Most men think erectile dysfunction after 60 is just a side effect of aging, that one day, without warning, the body simply stops responding. But what if I told you that in many cases, it's not age that's to blame? It's decades of conditioning your nervous system the wrong way. Here's what happens. For years, maybe even since your teenage years, you've used the same exact technique when you pleasure yourself. The same grip, the same rhythm, the same level of pressure, often paired with the same kind of visual stimulation. Over time, your nervous system learns to associate sexual response only with that exact pattern. It becomes wired to need it, just like the brain of someone who becomes dependent on a specific medication. The result? Your nerve endings adapt to the high intensity, and over the years, they require more and more stimulation to achieve the same result. Eventually, your natural ability to respond to softer, more varied sensations, the kind that occur with a partner, fades away. This is why some men in their 60s tell me, "Doc, I can do it myself, but with my partner, nothing happens." The problem isn't just in the blood flow, it's in the way the nerves have been trained. The result? Your nerve endings adapt to the high intensity, and over the years, they require more and more stimulation to achieve the same result. Eventually, your natural ability to respond to softer, more varied sensations, the kind that occur with a partner, fades away. This is why some men in their 60s tell me, "Doc, I can do it myself, but with my partner, nothing happens." The problem isn't just in the blood flow, it's in the way the nerves have been trained. But this isn't only about erections. The same nerve pathways that control your sexual response also play a role in bladder control, bowel function, and even the stability of your lower back and pelvic floor. Damage or desensitization here can lead to urinary incontinence, chronic pelvic pain, or unexplained back issues, all problems I see far too often in my older patients. The good news: Just as the nerves can be conditioned into dysfunction, they can also be retrained for natural responsiveness. This requires slowing down, varying your technique, reducing pressure, and focusing on sensation rather than speed. It's not about stopping the habit, it's about changing it into something that supports your health instead of damaging it. In the next part, I'm going to share something that will surprise a lot of men. Why complete abstinence after 60 can actually be more dangerous for your prostate than regular mindful sexual activity. And I'll show you the landmark Harvard study that proved it. Why abstinence after 60 can be worse for your prostate. Many men believe that after 60 slowing down in the bedroom or stopping entirely is part of aging gracefully. Some even think complete abstinence will help them conserve energy and protect their prostate. But the medical truth is the exact opposite. Avoiding sexual activity altogether can actually increase your risk of prostate problems, including cancer. Let's talk about the evidence. The Harvard School of Public Health conducted one of the most important studies ever on this subject, following 29,342 men for 18 years. They found that men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men who ejaculated only 4 to 7 times per month. That's not a small difference. That's the kind of risk reduction we normally see with major lifestyle changes, like quitting smoking. Here's why. Your prostate isn't just a passive organ, it's a fluid-producing gland. When that fluid sits stagnant for too long, it can create an environment where bacteria thrive and inflammation takes hold. Over time, this can lead to congestion, chronic prostatitis, and cellular changes that increase cancer risk. Regular ejaculation, whether with a partner or solo, clears out old prostatic fluid and replaces it with fresh fluid, keeping the gland healthier. Now, here's a surprising detail from the Harvard data. The protective effect was actually stronger when ejaculation happened through masturbation rather than intercourse. Why? Scientists believe solo activity allows for more complete drainage of the prostate without the small risk of introducing bacteria that can sometimes occur during partnered activity. This isn't just about cancer prevention. Regular ejaculation has been shown to reduce prostate inflammation, improve urinary flow, and lower the risk of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, a condition that causes uncomfortable urinary symptoms in older men. The World Health Organization even recognizes regular ejaculation as part of good prostate hygiene. Unfortunately, most men over 60 are never told this by their doctors. Prostate health conversations tend to focus on checkups, medications, and surgery, while ignoring one of the simplest, most natural preventive measures available. That's why I tell my patients, regular mindful sexual activity should be seen as part of your overall health routine, right alongside exercise, diet, and sleep. In the next part, we'll go beyond the prostate and look at how sexual activity, including masturbation, impacts your hormones, especially testosterone. You'll learn why maintaining this biological pathway can keep you stronger, sharper, and more energetic well into your 70s and 80s. Hormonal and psychological impact. Most men accept the idea that testosterone drops with age, as if it's an unstoppable decline you just have to live with. But in my decades as a urologist, I've seen that isn't always true. One of the most overlooked ways to protect and even boost a testosterone after 60 is through maintaining regular sexual activity, including masturbation. Here's the biology. When you become sexually aroused and reach orgasm, your brain releases a signal called luteinizing hormone. This hormone travels from the pituitary gland to your testicles, telling them to produce more testosterone. If you completely stop engaging in sexual activity, this pathway can go dormant, accelerating the age-related decline in testosterone production. The results of this decline go far beyond the bedroom. Low testosterone has been linked to muscle loss, osteoporosis, increased body fat, reduced cognitive function, mood disorders, and even a higher risk of death from all causes. In fact, research from the Mayo Clinic shows that men with testosterone levels below 300 nanograms per deciliter have double the risk of dying compared to men with normal levels. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology published a study that followed 2,400 men aged 65 to 85 for 7 years. Men who maintained sexual activity at least twice a week had testosterone levels similar to men 10 to 15 years younger. They also had lower rates of osteoporosis, better muscle preservation, and slower cognitive decline. But hormones aren't the only story here. There's a powerful psychological component. In my practice, I've seen men who carry deep shame or guilt about their sexuality, often shaped by outdated cultural messages, suffer worse health outcomes across the board. The National Institute of Mental Health has linked sexual shame in older men to skyrocketing rates of depression, anxiety, and social withdrawal. Over time, these mental health issues spill into the body, increasing the risk of heart disease, immune dysfunction, and premature death. When men learn to approach their sexuality without shame as a natural, healthy part of life, the change is remarkable. Blood pressure improves, sleep gets deeper, energy returns, mood stabilizes. They start to feel like themselves again. This isn't just about pleasure, it's about sending your body a daily signal that you're still active, still engaged, and still very much alive. In the next part, we're going to address one of the most dangerous threats to sexual and cognitive health after 60, pornography. I'll explain how it rewires the brain, increases dementia risk, and creates a type of erectile dysfunction no medication can fix. Pornography, brain aging, and sexual isolation. Over the last decade, I've seen an alarming rise in a condition many men don't even know exists: pornography-induced sexual dysfunction. It's not caused by poor circulation, low testosterone, or even nerve damage. It's caused by the way pornography rewires your brain. Here's the science. Pornography delivers an unnaturally intense dopamine surge, 200 to 400% higher than what you get from a real-life sexual experience. Over time, your brain's reward system becomes overstimulated, just like in drug addiction. The result? Normal, in-person intimacy no longer excites you in the same way. You might still be able to perform alone, but with a partner, your arousal fades or disappears entirely. For older men, this comes with an even greater danger: accelerated cognitive decline. A Cambridge University study found that men over 60 who regularly used pornography showed faster deterioration in working memory, processing speed, and decision-making, the exact brain functions that decline in early-stage dementia. Brain scans of chronic pornography users revealed reduced gray matter density and impaired neural connectivity, patterns disturbingly similar to those seen in Alzheimer's patients. And the damage isn't just neurological. Pornography creates unrealistic expectations that make real-world experiences feel less satisfying. This traps men in a cycle of artificial stimulation that undermines both emotional connection and physical performance. The solution is clear: maintain healthy sexual activity, but remove pornography from the equation. Use your imagination. Focus on physical sensations. Reconnect with your body in a mindful, guilt-free way. This protects your brain while preserving the benefits of regular sexual activity for your prostate, hormones, and mental health. Now, there's one more threat we have to talk about: sexual isolation. When men stop engaging with their bodies entirely, it's not just libido that suffers. Testosterone plummets, immune function weakens, inflammation spikes, and the brain begins shutting down non-essential systems. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, the longest-running study on human aging, has shown for over 80 years that men who remain sexually active, even into their 80s, enjoy better cognitive health, stronger relationships, and longer lives. Sexual activity isn't just about pleasure, it's about staying connected to life itself. When you reclaim your sexuality in a healthy, mindful way, you're sending your body a signal that you're still in the game, and that signal echoes in every part of your health. So gentlemen, here's my challenge to you. Start treating your sexual health with the same seriousness as your diet, exercise, and medical checkups. Protect your brain, protect your prostate, protect your vitality. And if you found value in this conversation, subscribe to Senior Health Advice, click the like button, and share this video with another man who needs to hear the truth. Age doesn't define you. How you care for yourself does.